Good evening and welcome to Play in the Kitchen with V. We are going to be making yogurt, and I only make yogurt in the evening before bedtime. I let it sit overnight in its incubator, if you will. And the reason is because I have a Labradoodle or Golden Doodle, whichever he may be, that may decide to get into my yogurt. So I find if I kind of put it out of sight, out of mind at night while he's sleeping, then I may get lucky and he leaves it alone, and then I get up in the morning to fresh made yogurt. So the basic of yogurt. Yogurt is you take milk that has lactose sugar, and you're going to take bacterial cultures that are going to, if you will, eat the lactose, turn that into lactic acid, thickening the milk and making it sour. Now, one thing you need to know, the longer you let your yogurt sit, the more sour it will be. Typically, though, it needs to sit for at least 12 hours at about 110, I believe, is what I shoot for. And this can be made, yogurt can be made several ways. I've made it quite a few ways myself. You can put it in a half a gallon mason jar, put it in your oven. You know, of course, mason jar the lid. Once you do all your stuff, put it in there, tighten your lid down, put it in your oven, turn the light on. In 12 hours, you will have yogurt. Because you think that light doesn't actually get warm, but it actually does, just enough to help incubate that yogurt. So the second way is, and for me, the most easiest, and honestly, that's pretty easy. So yeah, I was going to say going getting you a yogurt maker is easiest, but no, putting it in a sterile half a gallon mason jar, it don't get much easier than that, honestly. Turn the light on, put it in the oven. You're done. So, but I prefer using a yogurt maker. And two reasons is, no, I did not go out and buy a brand new one. Because you're looking at 35, 45 bucks. Can go any more, way higher than that. But anyway, I like junking, and I found, the first one I found was a square container. It was a incubator, about this big, this long, maybe about that wide, and it had a quart square container in it, and then it had maybe 9 6-ounce round glass containers with screw-down lids. You could even change the date, put a date on it with a little clicker that was made onto the lid. Anyway, that was convenient when I was going to work every day because, number one, I could put a date on it without marking on it with a black marker, but they're individual, so you could take those individual cups to work, and it was better than me trying to scoop it out in a bowl or whatnot. But since I'm at home now, and I am a full-time musician and a little this, a little that, I use a yogurt maker that makes approximately about, we do about half a gallon, if you can see that. Do about a half a gallon at a time. And the reason I got into making yogurt is because you can see right here, I'm going to make mine with a 0-calorie sweetener. It's a cheap version of Splenda. That is the biggest reason I got into making yogurts, because one, my body needed it, okay, for my tummy to stay normal. And women need, or I guess men need it too, but women also need it for urinary tract. Your body really needs those bacterial cultures to keep it healthy. So I decided to make my own yogurt and make it sugar-free, because at that point in time you couldn't find that in a store. So, and also after a while I learned, that I could add protein powder to it. You can use whole milk, 2%, 1%. You can actually use powdered milk. They do make a powdered whole milk, by the way, which turns out really, really good. You also can use non-milk, but when you get into using non-milk, you're going to get into an extremely thin, more like a drink. And if you were in dire need, let's say crap hit the fan, and that's all you had, and you needed those bacterial cultures for whatever reasons, for medical purposes, your belly was jacked up, whatever, you was on antibiotics, let's say, and it destroyed your bacteria in your belly, and you really need to be eating that daily, then yeah, you could probably whip together something at home with, let's say, almond milk. It's not possible, but you can do it, but it will not be what I would enjoy eating. Okay, so let me show you what we're going to use. So right now I have a half a gallon of whole milk. I use whole milk because for me whole milk is more creamier, thicker. Like I said, I'm not eliminating fat, and I'm not even eliminating carbs. However, there will be little carbs in this. I'm more concerned with the sugar content. Because for me, I find if I wake up and I'm eating sugar right off the bat, my whole day's shot. I'm on a roller coaster of wanting to eat and munch on whatever I can find in the house. I'm hungry all day. So, what we do is we need to put this on the stove. While it is cold, you will add 1 cup. If you like thick and creamy yogurt, you need to add 1 cup of some type of dry milk. And the reason that is, that ups your fat content, and it will actually make it be a more thicker, creamier yogurt. I put that in, and I put it on my stove, and I put it on medium. I let this stuff sit here and heat up and heat up. And yes, you do need to be here in the kitchen to actually stir this, or it will actually not clabber, but it will actually scald the bottom. And you will have chunks floating around in your yogurt, and it's edible, but you probably won't like it that way. So let's see here. The next thing is you need a thermometer. Digital, candy thermometer, it doesn't matter. You need to actually cook this until you reach 180 degrees. Now, that is I'm just going to tell you, that's going to be per every recipe you find, about every recipe that you find online. But, yes, I do mine a little differently. I bring mine up to 168 degrees, and I hold it 2 or 3 minutes tops. And I can tell you right now, that's exactly where it's at. It's 168 or 170. Now, when I made this, first started making it, I would actually, I was in a herd share program where I got my fresh cow milk from Val Carmichael in Corbin. And the butter fat was just off the charts. It was phenomenal. And we'll tell you, probably almost, I'm going to say, it was better than a quarter of the gallon was cream on top. And you could actually take it off and put it and make butter. But I actually kept it in my yogurt, and you would have thick layers of cream on top of your yogurt. It would be yogurt, but it would be really thick, creamy, delicious. Anyway, when you do raw milk, you want to take it up to 180. The reason being is because that milk has not been sterilized yet. So the 180 that all these recipes on Google are referring to is if you are using raw milk. Because 180 degrees kills any type of disease or anything like that that may be lurking in cow milk. But I bought mine out of the store. It's already, I know for a fact Flavor Rich has already sterilized it. It's good to go. So we're up to the temp that we need to be. And so I've already temped that. While it's sitting here, I'm actually going to drag it off the burner because I find if I let it sit there, I guess where the burner's hot, it just seems like it gets hotter and hotter. So I'm going to set this over here. Now the next thing I'm going to bring to your attention, and typically you can buy a starter from, honestly, bukus of companies out there sell them. And the first time I tried this, or I won't say the first time, but a couple of times down the road, I decided, hey, I'm gonna get that starter and let's see. Well, what I learned was that I didn't really like the starter. First of all, you need to get familiar with the different cultures that's out there. And you can do that by one, reading the back ingredients on store-bought yogurt. There's 3 or 4 and there may be more than that, but my favorite is Bulgarian bacteria cultures. I find that type of bacterial culture makes a thick creamy, because I've actually not even put in my powdered milk and still get a pretty thick and creamy. Well, I guess it's more creamy. And it's pretty thick, but when you add the powder, it does make it even thicker. So you need to figure out what you like. So yes, you can buy a starter offline. Follow the instructions on the back of your starter for making your yogurt. Or you can go buy one out of the store. This is the cheapest, most easiest to get to. And I used to always buy vanilla, okay, because I didn't know any better. And by me saying that, I'm saying that I want you to know that if you buy one that has fruit on the bottom, like this is actually Yoplait Original with strawberry. So it is flavored with strawberry. There is pieces of strawberry in it. If I inoculate my milk with a strawberry yogurt, it doesn't matter. I mean, this is a small container. My half a gallon of whole milk will actually turn into a half a gallon of strawberry yogurt. So now, I typically use, it's we, ain't it, baby? OUI. And the reason being is because if you taste it, it is creamy, thick and creamy and just luscious. Oh my goodness, I can't tell you. It is just great. It is very close to making yogurt from scratch with cow milk. It has such a high butter fat in it. So that is my favorite to use. But I've never used just Yoplait. And I thought, you know what? I'm just going to grab anything and check it out. Now, typically, I'm not that person. I find something I like, I stick with it. But it's been a while since I've strayed off, and I got to notice, and the only thing concerns me about this today is that Yoplait says contains, when I look to where the bacterial culture should tell you if it's Bulgarian, Sapacilius, I think is another one. It says contained bioengineered food ingredients. So that tells me nothing. That tells me that, I hate to say it, they don't want you to know what they have in it, in that sense. So I don't know for sure if I'm going to get a thick and creamy or if it's going to be a thin yogurt, but we're going to go with it and we'll see what we got. So, first thing, your containers must be sterile. Your containers that you will pour in your yogurt mixture to incubate has to be sterile. If they're not, it will keep your yogurt from actually forming. Those bacteria cultures will not do anything. Well, I'm going to say this. They will do something, but it will not produce the type of yogurt that you're used to. It won't be any thick consistency at all. The second thing is, I told you we bring up our whole milk to 165. That's what I do because I know milk from a store is already sterilized and does not need to be brought to 180 degrees for 10 minutes. So I do 165 for 2 to 3 minutes. Now I let this cool down, and sometimes I use an ice bath to bring it down quicker when I am in a hurry. Now, if you do that, you must stand here and watch it and constantly temp, because once that temperature drops past 110, it's hard to inoculate the milk with your yogurt, with your bacterial cultures, okay? There's not a guarantee. Again, it's very temp sensitive. So I find sometimes if I'm just in the house doing whatever, it's better for me just let it set. And I will move it over here just a minute and put it under my vent that stands over my kitchen sink, so it will cool it down just a little bit, and it also gets it off the stove. And while it's setting on there, I'll go ahead and add my cup of Splenda. And you can use less or more. You can use real sugar. Or honey. Well, I'm going to tell you not to use honey because it's going to actually thin it down quite a bit. Actually, I'm going to do 2/3 or 3/4 a cup of sugar. And the reason being, I typically don't like mine. If I'm eating plain vanilla, yeah, I like sweet yogurt. But typically, I add fruit or sometimes fruit and oatmeal to mine, or granola that's sweetened. So I don't want it, I'm afraid to get it overly sweet, okay? So I'm going to put that in and stir it around. Oh, let's see. Let me see, let you see this. Okay. Yeah, I think we're fine. Just stir it around, mix it up real good in there. It is hot. Now, I really believe once you start making your own yogurt and you get the hang of it, it's so easy and kind of quick to make. Once you get it all mixed up and you're at the right temp and you inoculate, put it in that container, you're done. After 12 hours, you've got fresh yogurt that you've made. And you know what? The most important thing here is that you know what's in there. Okay, so let's see here. I'm going to get my little measurement spoon here. I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of vanilla. Now you can use imitation vanilla or you can use the real deal. It doesn't matter. Honestly, I hate to say this, I really find not much difference. Not really. So I mix that in and I'm going to let this set. So we've put in 3/4 cups of the Splenda sugar, and we have put a teaspoon, no, it's a tablespoon, one tablespoon of vanilla extract. So I will let this set. I will let it come down to 110. Now, I told you that it was very temp sensitive. You cannot allow it to be any hotter than 110. And technically, if you don't let it drop below 100 and you stay within those 10, 100 and 110, you should be able to inoculate your milk with your yogurt culture, okay? And create 1/2 gallon of yogurt. If you go over 110, you will actually kill your live bacteria. And so you will not be getting yogurt. You'll get pretty much your milk mixture will be sitting there waiting on you in the morning. So ask me how I know, because I've done it in a hurry. So again, too, this process doesn't need to be done when you're in a hurry, because you will forget something or you will overlook a temp, and it's better just to do it on a day that you ain't got a whole lot to do and you can muster up 30-40 minutes to throw it together. Like I said, once you get it up to temp and get your stuff thrown in there, you can actually cool it down with an ice bath and then inoculate. So if you will take a moment and give us a like and a subscribe, we would sure appreciate it. And I hope you're liking the content that we're sharing on YouTube. And you're more than welcome to share our videos. Tell people to come check us out. And if there's anything that you would like to see me make, like I have a family member that wants me to make my popular yeast rolls, which I will be making soon. But unfortunately, I've been really enjoying this summertime like weather out on the lake and around the home with my hubby and my doggies. So I've been taking a lot of advantage of that, and I need to get my butt into making some music and getting some stuff down on paper for the recording studio. But anyway, one thing at a time. So I'm going to be back in just a moment, and when I come back, our yogurt mixture that's sitting for cooling will be down to 110, and we'll be ready to inoculate and put that baby wherever you're going to put it. If you're going to put it in the oven or if you're going to put it in a yogurt maker, we'll leave it there for 12 hours. Be back in just a moment. All right, guys, so welcome back. We are at, I believe, 108 on our temp. I wanted to also remind you guys, when you're cooling something down with an ice bath, don't just try to temp it. Make sure you take your whisk and whisk it around to make sure everything's good and blend it, then temp it, because it may be cooler in some spots than others, and you may not get an accurate temp until you do actually blend it all together. So, again, we are at 108. I'm going to put this over here and show it to you. Very important to stay under 110. Okay. So we are there. We're going to do what I call inoculating yogurt. Now, you would think that you would be able to just take this milk, pour it into a container, or take your yogurt, okay, and just dump it in your pot of milk that's cooled down, whisk it around, boom, you're done. Okay, I'm going to tell you, bacterial cultures don't like that. It does not work that way. So that's why I call it inoculating. It's because what I do is I take a cup. Actually, I'm going to take a half a cup measurement cup here. I have done it like that a few times just to make sure that I was not crazy. And if I don't add my warm milk right here, then put a little bit of my bacterial cultures in, mix it around and get it used to that milk, for some reason, it will not take. It's like my bacterial cultures die. It's like maybe it's a shock to them because it's so warm, maybe. So what I do is I take a cup or half a cup. Let me bend down here again. I take this and I get it in my cup. We'll set it down right here because I want y'all to watch this. And use you a clean teaspoon. Like I said, everything has to stay sterile. And I will take and just put a teaspoon or two in my half a cup measuring cup. And I do this very gently. I just take my whisk and I just very gently rotate it around in there. I don't do it real hard and fast. I kind of like baby it a little bit, okay? Then I'll add that in. I'll do the same thing. I'll take another scoop of milk out and add the yogurt, my bacterial cultures. I will mix it around and then I will add it. The only thing I can think of is either it just throws them into shock and they just don't never come out of it. But, you know, you hate to put this time into trying to make your own yogurt and mess it up yourself by just trying to throw it all in there and put it together. I mean, I wish it worked that way because it's less time consuming. So, do this little tricky right here. Pour it in and get one more and I'm done. Now, yes, I've made a mess, okay? I'm sure you've heard me say plenty of times, or I know you've heard me say it some. If I'm not creating a big mess, I'm probably not doing much of nothing. You should see me when I cake decorate. I have it everywhere. When I used to be a cake decorator at Walmart, I would, me and royal blue, oh Lord, if I got into royal blue, it was everywhere. And that's one color that's pretty tough to clean up off white. So, we got that right there. I'm just going to swirl that around just a little bit. I ain't going to go crazy with the whisk. Like I said, it needs to be babied. Alright, so actually from this point on, we're ready to actually pour it into a container again. You can pour this into, this is a glass container. You could about take saran wrap and cover it up good and tight and just shove it, put it right in the oven on the middle rack and turn your light on. Or put it in a half-a-gallon mason jar. Yes, they do make those. You can get it at WD Bryant. You can order it online. I think Walmart even carries them online, but not in the store. But anyway, you can do it that way. Everybody's got an oven, and most of us have a light in our oven. And I know you think that's not warm enough, but I promise you, it will be warm enough. Or you can buy a fancy yogurt maker. You can even make it in the crock pot. And honestly, if you keep a fairly warm house, you can about just put it on the counter. Depending on what kind of yogurt you're going for, okay? And the other thing is that I've also done in the past is take a cooler, heat up mason jars, put it inside, lay down some towels, put those heated mason jars, hot water in the mason jar, boiling hot water, put the mason jars in the cooler and set your, how many ever you fill up of other mason jars. I done 2 half-gallons in that cooler, put a towel, put 2 towels down over top of it, shut it up. It works as an incubator. It will work. You will have yogurt. So there's several different ways that you can make it. I am using my yogurt maker just because really, you know, the big deal is that my container, I can put saran wrap over it, put it in the fridge, and dish out what I want every day. Like I said, I do have the little jars that have dates on them that you can do dates. Typically, FYI, from the day that you use or the days that you make your yogurt, as long as you've got fresh ingredients, it is about 14 days good, your yogurt. I actually throw mine out probably at about 10. If you want to use a cup or half cup of your yogurt to inoculate a new batch, I would do it within 7 days. After your first batch of yogurt is 7 days old, I would use that half a cup to make the new batch. Don't wait until 10, 12 days, till it's 10 or 12 days old, because then your batch you're using to inoculate your new batch is probably going to be making your new batch actually old. And it's going to go old pretty fast. So anyway, there's that. So I'm going to go over here by the sink Sorry, you can't see me, but you'll hear me. Let's hope I can pour it into the container, not get it everywhere. I appreciate it. Yay, I made it. Then I'll just set it down in my yogurt maker, put my lid on, and honestly, from that point, we are actually on our way to having yogurt made. Now, typically 12 hours. You can check it at 10. So right now it's 10 o'clock. I'm not going to actually check that yogurt until about 10:30 in the morning, maybe 11. If you want a sour yogurt, something more like sour cream, you can actually let it sit 16 hours or 20 hours. The longer it sets, the more sour it will be. At some point it will quit though, and it will be pretty sour. You could actually use it for sour cream. There's people that actually do it like that. So thank you guys again. Again, I do not have any band today or anybody to sing. And I don't have a t-shirt to support a local band, but I am supporting Austin City Saloon, Corbin, Kentucky. So it's where we do some open mic karaoke on Wednesdays and Thursdays, or a live radio show, Overtones Live. And then Friday and Saturday they always have live music. They have great food, delicious big jumbo wings. I mean, everything there is really good, and you got great people. But they're always got something going on from Wednesday, or actually even Monday with trivia. About every day of the week they got something going on. So if you get a chance, go stop in, check them out, support live music, because without you guys, we don't have anybody to play to. So I think I'm going to get you a little song before we go. I ain't decided yet what it is. Surprise, surprise. I don't like doing this without my husband, but he's a little busy at the moment, so and playing without him is not something I normally do. So we'll see how this turns out. Anyway, thank you guys. Hope this teaches you to make yogurt. You can do it, I promise. You can use any, I mean, you can do plain Jane, vanilla, or you can, like I said, go get different cups from your local grocery store. Peach, blueberry, whatever. You can go try that and get what you need from those. Use those to make your culture, or you can order it. So anyway, give us a like, subscribe, pass this along to other people to watch. And if you have anything that you want to me to check out on how to make, you want, rolls, pizza, whatever. If we do pizza, I'm making my husband do that one, because that's his baby. But anyway, thank you guys so much. If you have any comments, leave them and I will get back to you. Appreciate you guys. All right, so I decided, in the honor of Gary Allan, that I'll be going to see, me and Scott's going to be going to see Friday night. Going to try a song that really not played a lot. It's one of my favorite songs, Gary Allan. I believe it's probably from his second album, I think. Anyway, we're going to try it and see how it goes. I saw you walking down the street last night. I saw her walking by your side. I saw the way you stopped and held her tight. I saw that look in your eyes. Go on and tell her that you love her. Go on and tell her she's the one. Go on and give her every sacred thing that you used to say for us. And see if I can. Look at the way you're tearing me apart, baby. See if I can. Look at the tears falling in this heart, baby. Go on, go on. Yeah, go on, go on, go on. Let's see if I can. I still hear the way you whisper softly in my ear. I lie awake and I can remember the way that it felt to hold you near. Go on and run your fingers through her hair. Go on and lay by her side. Go on and wrap her in the dark surrender and all your tender lies. See if I care. Look at the way you're tearing me apart, baby. See if I care. Look at these tears falling in my heart, baby. Go on, go on. Yeah, go on, go on, go on. See if I care. Look at the way you're tearing me apart, baby. See if I care. Look at the tears falling in my heart, baby. Go on. Yeah, go on, go on, go on. See if I can. If I can. See if I can. All right. Good morning, guys. And I'm not going to show my face because, yeah, my hair's not even fixed. But anyway, I'm going to show you that it's actually 7:30. And this is my yogurt. Yeah, it is very thick and creamy. So yeah, we have yogurt this morning, and you can see the chunks of fruit that was in the yo plate that I used to inoculate this. So yeah, beautiful creamy yogurt, just the way I like it. Again, if you don't like thick and creamy, you can also not use the powdered milk, fat-free or whole milk. All right, guys, that's it. Thank you guys so much.